Hi, everyone. Welcome to Art and Talk. Thank you so much for being with us today. We hope everyone in the Art and Talk community is doing well. I'm Leslie Sue, the host for Art and Talk. So today we have an art conversation update with Tia Sculpt. She is one of the exhibition artists at the Spartanburg Art Museum current exhibit called Displaced. And Displaced is the resurgence and resilience of artists affected by Hurricane Helene, artists from Western North Carolina and also the upstate South Carolina area. Tia is an artist, a creative, a ceramicist, a community leader, and organizer. So the last time we connected was during the opening reception, which was in January of Displaced. So we'll be finding out what is going on currently in the Asheville art community, how the road to recovery is progressing. And we'll also find out what she's been up to as a creative. And we'll also be having a tour of her studio. So I'd like to welcome today our guest, Tia Sculpt. Hi, Tia, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to chatting for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us. I think maybe we could start off, Tia. Can you share with the viewers a little bit about your journey as an artist, a little bit about your background, and then how that led you to becoming a ceramicist?
Yeah, I would be happy to. So I'm primarily like a sculptural, do a little bit of functional work as well. But I kind of started out in high school. I'm from Aurora area, Aurora, Illinois. And we just had a really great program in high school. And then I like to just kind of say a lot of my career is just based off of the kindness of other people. So I ended up getting a floral job with a great boss who just gifted me her kiln and the wheel that I'm using now to make work. And yeah, it just kind of kept flowing because people enjoyed my work and things like that. And now I'm in Western North Carolina, just continuing what I do.
And how long have you been involved as a professional ceramicist?
I would say I mean, I've been doing it about 10 years, but really got my LLC and everything like that right when kind of COVID hit. So about five, like professionally.
Mhm. I would love to take a look at your studio. I'm kind of like perusing it with my eyes. Could you show us your amazing creative space and just share a few little things about it with us?
Totally. I'll kind of take you out where I walk in so you can kind of see my kiln area and then we'll come in here. So here is the two kilns I got going on back here.
Mhm.
And this is just kind of where I store work as it's drying. I got a little mural going on, and then here's where I walk in every day. And this is kind of like my main workbench. And then this is where I had all propped up, but another workbench, my throwing wheel. And then I got a little tiny gallery back here that I kind of just have that ready when I do open studio tours. So I'll have another one in May. So it's just kind of like a little personal tucked back there. But yeah.
Give us just a little insight. So you're in your studio pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Give us a little outline. You come in there and do you just have an unstructured type of approach? Is there a structured approach? Obviously, you're continuing to work on different projects, but what is like the flow like for you of a typical day in your studio?
Let's see. A lot of times it's like based off of what's coming up. So I got like a couple shows coming up that I'm trying to get work ready for, and usually I come in to start working on whatever projects I want to get done, and then I have a lot of cleanup. And I mean, I'm in here usually about 8 hours a day, and a good portion of that is just prepping and cleaning up because ceramics is just so time consuming and messy. So, yeah, and I don't know, there's computer work and all that kind of stuff that comes with it too, but I do like wheel throwing and sculpting, so it just kind of depends on the project I'm working on.
And when you're in your studio, it looks like this is your studio. You don't share it with anybody else. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's just me. I mean, I have friends come in all the time and we get together and do firings or projects together. But this is yeah, just me most of the time.
You're a Hendersonville, North Carolina based artist. I'd love to find out from you, since the last time we spoke till
Yeah.
now, what is currently going on in the Asheville art community? What are the challenges that are still there? What is the progress that's been made?
There's been a lot of progress in a really good way. So yeah, Helene was in September, so it's been a little over 6 months. And focus that I'm hearing about is like the River Arts District is really trying to gear back up and open new spaces or clean up. And it's just kind of focused on like cleanup still. There's a lot of cleanup to get done. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities for cleanup and a lot of opportunities for new things coming through. So that's what I'm hearing the most about in the art community. It's just kind of like restart now. So yeah.
Mhm. So
Mhm.
there has been progress, but there's still more that needs to be done. As you were saying, with the cleanup and the Arts River, is it open now, or you're saying it's sort of in the preliminary stages?
It is open. It was like about 2 months after they had like their grand opening of the River Arts District, and it was really great. I did end up getting out there for that, and that was the first time I actually went to Asheville, because I'm about a half hour away from there. And yeah, like they're really just putting the pedal to the metal and trying to get everything going. And it's just it's been going really good, I'd say, which is really nice to see right now. And they're really encouraging people to go to the River Arts District right now or any galleries that got hit by the hurricane that are open, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Right. So now that we're about 5.5 months since the storm, and just as a refresher, a lot of art studios were flooded. A lot of artists lost artwork that was, years and years and years of work. So what is the climate with the artists at this particular point?
I would say it's just like a lot of change.
Mhm.
Like, a lot of the artists that were in the Spartanburg show with me are going through a lot of changes. So, I know some people are just getting new studios. Some people are traveling and doing residencies right now. Because there's been a lot of opportunities like that for people that lost their studios. And there's just a lot of people that have transitioned to like home studios, during this time just because of damage. So, I think like I've seen a lot of people really pushing through and making work, but a lot of people that need to take like some long breaks too right now. So,
Mhm. Right, to kind of regather, refocus, and kind of begin, renew.
yep. Just like a lot of changes going on. So,
Right.
yeah.
What are some of the ways, Tia, that viewers can support some of the artists that have been affected by Hurricane Helene? What can they do to be supportive?
That's a great question. I think that a lot of times we start to think the only thing we can do to support an artist is like financially support them, but we don't all have dough, and that's okay because you can still support artists by showing up in person, sharing their work online is awesome. Like it's so nice when you're kind of just like you don't think anyone's out there looking, and then you all of a sudden see people sharing your work and talking about your work. It's like it's really uplifting. I mean, yeah, personally for me, like if you can stop by when I'm doing markets or when I'm out and about, it makes me feel so great to have social interaction right now, and I think that helps a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Well, we'll definitely be including all of your social media and be encouraging people to follow you that are local and not local. So those who are local, to come to the Arts River community, you're inviting them, it sounds like, to your studio to be present, and then and the different events and activities that you participate in the local community. Now, what about those who are not local? I know there was a couple GoFundMe
Mhm.
sites set up. Are those still active? Where if viewers want to make a donation to help some of the artists that were affected by the storm, are those active now?
Yeah, there are. I know the gallery that I was part of that was flooded like over 20 feet was called Art Garden AVL, and their GoFundMe's still up, and they're still looking for a space, I believe, at this time. And I believe Resurrection Studios, they still, or excuse me, that's a new studio that's coming up. It's Foundation Studios that still has like a GoFundMe, I believe, up right now. So I just like keep an ear to the ground of like what's going on. Or at another thing I love to rep for is the radio, like 103.3. They're always talking about community things and even people that are still raising money. So yeah.
And I'd like to touch upon Tia because when we were at the opening reception of Spartanburg Art Museum for the Displaced exhibit, it was really beautiful and very touching that directly after the storm, you were very active in the community. You were helping to dispense different materials, different meals, different things that people were in need of. Can you touch upon that?
Yeah, I would love to touch on that. So that's something I'm still continuing to do. Like out front of my studio, a local put in a really tiny garden and they put like this huge billboard up. And when the hurricane happened, a lot of us, well, I mean, we all lost cell signal and things like that. So I was putting up and I was painting huge signs of like where to get supplies or Wi-Fi or showers or anything that I could promote. I was putting on this board, and now there's like a little cabinet that I continue to free pantry in. And yeah, like freshly after the hurricane, I had a family member that organized like a way to give out supplies, and that was something I was doing, and that was something that actually helped me out a lot because it was just really nice to be able to talk to people and help them after that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really a beautiful service that you provided. That's very touching how you really kind of let go of the focus of your art temporarily to really serve the needs of the community. So I just want to thank you for that.
Well,
Let's,
thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Let's touch upon, as a creative, what's going on with you currently? What are some of your ceramic activities, projects, focuses?
Totally. High water clays is where I used to get my supplies of everything, and that flooded. So I'm actually also going through a lot of changes, like trying to find a new type of clay, which is like a whole process in and of itself. So I'm kind of like, I got my little scraps of the clay that I had before the hurricane that I'm sort of completing some projects because I understand those clay bodies and just kind of restarting in some ways. I'm learning new processes all the time. Like one of my homies taught me how to do slip casting, which has been really cool. I just feel like yeah, lots and lots of changes I would say right now. Um, but yeah, I try to update what I'm up to on like my website and stuff like that too. So little gallery shows coming up and stuff like that as well.
We have an image to look at, so give me a moment and let's go ahead and pull that up and
Cool.
look. And all right, here we go. Can you share with us? I believe you call these shadow play candles. Tell us about,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally. So, these have been like a really nice way to do like a smaller project with like, and especially with like these new clay bodies I'm trying out. So, these are candle holders that as the candle burns down, you can kind of see like holes in the holders themselves. So that actually projects images like onto the surface below when they're burning down. And the flower shaped one is actually my favorite one because like as that candle burns down, the shape of the flower like grows on the surface below. And then I actually have it right here. but there's like little tiny holes that also project like right when it gets towards the base, and it looks a lot like a rhododendron flower, which was not planned. It just kind of like came out that way. So, yeah, these little projects that are like having locals in mind are what I'm really focusing on right now. Like kind of affordable, smaller art projects are my focus at the time. So, yeah.
And so those who are local can come to your studio, or they can go on your website and they can make purchases, as well as those who are not local that would like to purchase some of your pieces. And do you accept commissions as well, Tia?
Occasionally I do commissions, but at the time, just because of all the changes with clay bodies and just where I'm sourcing stuff, don't have commissions open at the moment, but it's not something I'm totally against. It's kind of just a conversation I'm down to have with people that are
Mhm.
thinking about it. So, yeah.
I'd like to just ask a few off the cuff questions before we close out. And what I'd like to know, in addition to the challenges that are faced in the Western North Carolina area due to the destruction and devastation from the storm, additionally, today, what is your biggest challenge as an artist?
Ooh-wee, let me think. My biggest challenge as an artist. Um, I think, gosh, I mean, there's so many different challenges, but I think just like gassing myself up can be a challenge right now, just because there's so much going on, as we all know. So sometimes it just really takes a lot of like core strength to either go out and talk to locals, especially after such a devastating time. It just sort of like, I also would say just like it takes a lot of gusto to actually take breaks right now because a lot of us like we really want to be doing a lot right now. So I think like that's a huge challenge for myself and other people is like taking breaks and like also like encouraging something that I'm seeing a lot of people struggle with as well as myself.
Mhm. Do you have
Yeah.
anything to add to that for artists across the board, what their greatest challenges today that they face?
Across the board, I would say like, yeah, just a huge challenge is just like continuing to pursue it because sometimes I think just being an artist can sort of feel like a career that's a huge like leap, you know? So, I think the best thing we can do is just sort of like gas each other up, support each other, and like it takes a lot of gusto to get out there and find people that are like-minded, but the more you try, the more you're gonna succeed. So,
Mhm. And
yeah.
I'd like to touch upon that. So I like your term to kind of like get gassed up. So because there is a lot of like the element of the unknown collectively with so many things going on, Art and Talk is very strong proponent to advocate that the artists really do help show the way. There's a lot of things that society can learn from artists. So
Mhm.
looking at the area of the unknown, artists tend to, I believe, naturally be able to move through the unknown, creating something out of nothing, that type of thing. So, do you have any encouragement for those who are watching? You gave some good examples for artists, to encourage one another, to support one another. Those who are watching that may be going through some different challenging things, with the unknown, that's even related to mental health and anxiety. And we know what the stats are on that. Any type of encouragement or thoughts or words that you could provide that might sort of help them to get gassed up.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I think the one thing that I've been trying to remind myself is like it's great to venture outside of our safety zone, but it's also really great to focus on our strong suits and not only focusing on our strong suits, but just sort of like going with intention. So I think like especially when we start to have maybe like failure or like changes in our environment and all of these like things coming at us, like to kind of just always have intention and like feel comfortable with our strong suits and kind of like I guess just with both of them just like focus, because we can kind of lose ourselves with all of these external things going on. So,
Yeah, that was well stated. And I appreciate you sharing that, Tia.
oh yeah.
One final question. Do you have any thoughts that you'd like to share on AI in respect to science, in respect to art, in respect to the environment and society? Anything going on there?
Gosh, oh yeah, there's so much going on, and AI is something I don't have a whole lot of knowledge on. I hear so much different information about it, and I mean, I like to try and think that there's a lot of good things that can come with that. And as far as like with the environment and stuff like that, I'm just like really repping for locals to kind of hone in on Mountain True is a great organization right now to hear about like kind of what's going on. They were doing a lot of updates after the hurricane about like just everything, like where to clean up, but also like water sample testing and things like that. And like just they did such a wonderful job and they're still doing a great job. So that's something I'm always thinking about and always doing cleanups and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share with us? One question I do have before we wrap up is I'm just curious, Tia, where do you want to take your art? I realize there's a lot of flux going on. There's still a lot of recovery, rebuilding that needs to take place, as you've expressed, given the specific situation that you and the others in the art community are going through in and around the Asheville area. But what are your hopes, your dreams, your vision for your art?
Yeah, I think like my hopes with it right now is like honestly just continuing it and um like I really have been enjoying like connecting with people through it. So if I could just like keep doing that pretty much on any level, like I don't always like do like the museum show was like the nicest one I've ever done. Like I do like all kinds of different things, like smaller markets, smaller galleries, and things like that. And I mean, I just love it all. So really, I guess I just want to continue doing it. And I think like as I continue doing it, I just keep um meeting more people and figuring more. Yeah, I mean, it's really a privilege to be able to do this every day. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Tia, it's been great to reconnect with you and to get an update with the community, the other artists, with you and what's going on. And of course, we send our good thoughts and blessings to you and the other artists to have more of a speedy recovery and all the things that need to take place so everything can be a bit more settled. We know it's a process, but we certainly hope that things move forward at a more accelerated level for you and the other artists. We will make sure that we include links to GoFundMe as well as to all of your social media links so viewers can follow you, and of course locals to the different events and activities that you participate in, and those local that may want to help with the cleanup as you recommended and suggested as well.
Oh, well, yeah, thanks so much for meeting. It's really nice to be able to, talk about it all and get my voice out there. I really appreciate it as well. It was nice
Yeah,
chatting with you.
yeah, thank you so much, Tia, and much success to you. You're an amazing person, an amazing artist. Right, so we would like to encourage everyone to, if you are in the local Western North Carolina, or if you are in the upstate South Carolina area, to visit the Displaced exhibit. It does run through the end of March at the Spartanburg Art Museum in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So you still have a little bit of time to see it. I spoke with Danielle Woodson, the guest curator, who did an amazing job with this exhibit. And there is an art walk coming up on March 20th. She will be present. She will be on hand if you have any questions. It will serve as a closing reception for the exhibit. If you are not local and you'd like to find out more information, you can go on the Spartanburg Art Museum website and you can find out a full list of exhibition artists. You can see some of the amazing work. And I would encourage you to watch some of the artists that Art and Talk had an honor to be able to speak with from the opening reception. You can get a little bit more insight into their story. All right, so thank you again so much for watching. We do appreciate your support. We would like to ask you to please support local artists in any way that you can. Please support our art platform. You can subscribe to Art and Talk's channel, our YouTube channel, and we are also on Instagram and on Facebook. So please like, follow, subscribe, and share our videos. And again, thank you so much for watching this Art and Talk update. Until then, be well. Thank you.